Welcome to Relation EQ. Join Julie and her guests as they share their stories to provide powerful insight for fine-tuning relationships that matter to you. Now here's your host, Julie Sims.
Well, welcome to Relation EQ. I'm your host, Julie Sims, and I'm in the studio with my husband, Brian Sims. And today we're going to be giving you just a little update of where we're at with getting all of our newest and latest and greatest episodes out to you so that you can have the opportunity to watch them and explore all the wonderful guests that we have with us. So, Brian, kind of tell us what's coming up.
So when we started this journey on the Relation EQ, we wanted to be able to drop an episode on the YouTube channel simultaneously with dropping on the podcast side. And if you are following us on the podcast side, you know that we have about 9 episodes released. I think last week was Dub Alexander, number 9, and one of my personal favorite interviews that I've done. And but we are way behind on the YouTube channel. There's only our first 2 out there. So we're just letting you know that, hey, life gets real. Video is a little more involved than the podcast. And so as we learn, we feel like we are increasing our production value as we go. But we just want to let you know as our subscribers and our watchers that, hey, we are aware that we are behind. And so our goal is to get caught up. So over the next several weeks, we're going to be doing that. On the podcast side, we typically release an episode about every other week. And so what we're going to do is every week release some episodes on the YouTube channel starting next Friday. And so we're going to start with 2 episodes because it's actually a 2-part interview that I think once you watch the first one, you'll want to watch the second one. And so we're not going to hold that back. So do you want to tell them about that?
I do. This episode, we didn't know we would do 2 of them back to back.
Right.
In fact, so it's with April and Joy Bokanaw, and they are describing life with their handicapped son. And I also relate because I grew up with a handicapped brother.
Yeah.
And so as we're talking and we wrap up that episode, we finish, and all of a sudden, a gush of emotion comes.
Yeah.
And they began to talk to each other, and we were like, oh my goodness, I think we're now getting into some of the gold. And so we quickly restarted and began to record the second episode. And so it goes even deeper into what they experienced with their son McCoy. And it truly, it's a must listen to catch both of them because it just all flows together, and there's so much in that second episode that had we not rolled the cameras, we really would have missed.
Yeah. So that's really been the fun about this is that, yes, we are learning. We're not pros at this, but we are learning more and more every day. And it's made it so fun, not only just to do the podcast, but the guests that we've had. It's so much fun getting in the studio.
Yes, and I think, they may start off with a little bit of jitters because sometimes maybe they haven't been in front of a microphone. But boy, in no time, the conversation is just flowing. And what we love is it's real conversation. These are real people dealing with things that you are dealing with, and that they have some answers for you, or even just some empathy of knowing, okay, you've gone through it, we've gone through it, others have gone through it. And, I guess really some of the best feedback we've gotten from those who are viewing and subscribing is how relatable this is. Yeah. It's authentic material of what people really do go through in life. And that's truly what we wanted to bring to our audience was, we're all going through it. How can we go through it as best as we can? Or maybe overcome some situations that were terribly hard, and maybe one little piece of the puzzle you'll get from one of our guests, and you'll go, that's exactly what I need to do, and it'll work. And so that's kind of the joy of being able to bring this content to you.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us on Relation EQ. Please subscribe so that you will be notified of those upcoming episodes. And we plan to finish out our season just early summer. We're going to take some time off during the summer and start back up in the fall. So plan to wrap this season up, maybe with hopefully about 12 episodes total. But anyway, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Relation EQ. For more information on how you can fine-tune your relationships, visit our Facebook page at Relation EQ or email us at relationeq@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow our channel on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or hit subscribe on your favorite listening platform so you never miss an episode. Join us again next week for more stories on Relation EQ.